Hello, and welcome to the Essential Zodiac Podcast. This is episode number 3, and we're going to be talking about the Taurus new moon / solar eclipse. That's occurring tomorrow, April 30th. We won't be able to see it here in North Carolina. I believe it'll be more visible in Asia. But the energy is still there, even though you won't experience it. I'm Cynthia McNulty, your host, with my amazing producer and friend, Audrey Fannin.
Welcome, everyone.
So let's get into all about Taurus, new moon. So this is interesting. It's not just a regular new moon because of the solar eclipse. And the eclipse packs more energy. Usually, lunar energy is around for 2 weeks until, the next full or new moon. But eclipse energy lasts for 6 months. There's always 4 eclipses a year. 2 solar and 2 lunar. So we'll have another set of eclipses later in the year. If your birthday is anywhere around this eclipse, it's usually it'll be a very good year for you. Lots of changes maybe, but usually it's a very good year. So along with our solar eclipse, Venus, who rules Taurus, is in a tight combination with Jupiter. This is particularly significant because, as I said, Venus rules Taurus. This eclipse also aligns with Uranus. So this is very good energy to embark on a new project. Now, keep in mind, Taurus is an earth sign. So earth signs are very industrious. Taurus is a fixed earth sign, so that means its energy is very stable. So it can be stubborn, taken too far.
This is true.
Dear Audrey is a Taurus.
I'm a Taurus, yes.
So we've had many, many discussions on being a Taurus. So this is her moon. So it's also because of Uranus, it's also a good time to maybe look at a different way of doing something. Sometimes we get stuck in a rut. This is the way we've always done it. Well, maybe that's not working anymore. So let's get creative. Let's think of something new. So Taurus and Scorpio are the pairs of zodiac signs that we're going to have for these 4 eclipses this year. So it's about give and take. Scorpio is a water sign. It's ruled by Pluto. Scorpio wants to get to the heart of the matter. Scorpios have kind of a bad reputation of being intense and jealous and very not complimentary connotations. And that's kind of wrong because they are intense, but it's not malicious. They want to find the heart of the matter. They want to understand it. And they want to make it better. They want to take that energy and figure out how to use it to its best potential. One thing we want to be cautious of for this new moon is you want to do your research. It's great to find a new way of doing things or a new method, but you want to do your research to make sure it's going to work. Don't expend all that energy for no reason. Also, a good way of working with this energy is we had this exact same energy going on last year, last April, as a matter of fact, in 2021. So if you think about last year, what was going on in your life? What energy did Taurus bring for you? Did you use it? This might be your second chance to use that energy or to modify it. Maybe you did use it, but it wasn't working out or it didn't work out. So now you're a year smarter, and so you can look at it again and make changes.
Who says you don't get a second chance?
Exactly. There's always a loophole. You need to, everybody out there, call me. I can give you an astrological loophole and to get it taken care of. Yes, sir. All right.
Okay, Cindy, that's a lot of Taurus energy that we've been talking about here.
Yes.
So is that going to mean that these things are going to have more intense effects for people born under that sign?
Yes, I would say that Taurus would feel it probably on the line of what I said about the cardinal signs, because it is your sign. That's your zodiac sign. So, like I said, you'll definitely feel the new moon effects, and you'll probably be prodded, or you'll feel like you should be doing something. Like I should be, you could be busy all day long, but you'll be there at the end of the day and you're like, I got nothing done. So, you want to, the way I deal with that when I feel this intensity to do something, I make a list. It sounds simple, but that's what I do. And I prioritize so I don't become overwhelmed. And, some of it's like, why did I put that down? I don't need to do that, right? So it gives you a visual. So, yeah, you'll probably be like the Energizer Bunny, wanting to get all this stuff done. And you don't want to scatter your energy, though. You do want to stick to one thing, one project, and then move on once it's complete. Now, the other interesting transit that we have today is Pluto, and he is a planet.
Here. He is
Yes,
a planet.
He is a planet. I don't care what the astrophysicists say. He's a planet. Pluto has to get respect. So Pluto is the planet of transformation. It rules Scorpio, that intense sign. Pluto wants to take what no longer works and make it better. Pluto has been in Capricorn since 2008, I want to say, and it has been reforming our structures, because Capricorn is an earth sign, all about structures. Buildings, literal buildings, things like that. And, we can look over the past 14 years, and there have been big changes to our structure, and they're still happening. But right now, Pluto is retrograde. And you'll hear that phrase a lot. And what it means is the energy of Pluto, the planetary energy of Pluto, is in some way diminished, dampened. It appears, if you looked through a telescope and you looked at Pluto, it would look like the planet was orbiting backwards. Of course, that's an illusion. Planet can't move backwards. But the way the planet is lined up between the Earth and the Sun and the other planets, it looks like it's traveling backwards. But the energy does, like I said, become diminished. It's not in full force. So right now, Pluto is giving us a chance to do some self-analysis. It's always a good use of retrograde energy to look inward, to see how things are going, really search your heart. And when we look at Pluto in Capricorn, how are the structures of your life working? How are the foundations? Is everything in line with your values, with your spirituality? And when we do that self-analysis, when we look deep, sometimes things that we thought were resolved or put to bed, whatever, come back. And that's very typical with a Pluto retrograde because it really hasn't been resolved. Maybe you stuffed it in your locker and locked it and threw away the key and pushed the locker into the ocean. Trust me, whatever that was will resurface. Maybe not the next day, maybe not a month, but there will be a trigger in your life that brings back whatever that thing was that you thought you got rid of, because you really didn't get rid of it. You just suppressed it.
And you put a lot of effort into it.
Yes, exactly. You put a lot of effort into ignoring the problem instead of, fixing the problem. On Facebook, I came across this interesting page, which is very easy on Facebook. But I was looking for a friend who was going through kind of a relationship problem. And this page is called The Chump Lady. And she offers advice to people going through divorces because of cheating. And it's very personal to her. It's her story. I believe, she was cheated on twice. I know she's married now with a very good husband. But, she was a single mom trying to raise her son. And she put out a book and she posts on her webpage for people who have been blindsided by infidelity. Okay, what do I do now? After you come back to logical thinking, it's like, okay, what do I do now? And she offers advice. And it's also a community. Other people have joined up, obviously. But there's a term that she uses, and I love this, and so I'm stealing it. It's called spackling the problem. How many times have we spackled over different relationship issues, different career issues, maybe health. Just because we're ignoring a health problem doesn't mean it's going to go away, no matter how much we wish, right? So Pluto is going to bring all that back. They're going to bring that back and have you take a look at it. And Pluto is, okay, this time, you're going to fix it. And, Pluto has tough love. I know all of us saw the pictures of Pluto with the heart a couple years ago. They were all over the internet. So Pluto loves us, but it's tough love. It's tough love because we grow with challenges, right? I hate that, hate life lessons, but, they're there for a reason, Wait till we talk about Saturn.
Wait for it.
For you Capricorns out there, you know what I'm talking about. But Saturn and I have a long history. Maybe I'll do a podcast all on Saturn, so I won't put out any teasers, but Saturn can be interesting. That's a good word. It's interesting.
That's a good word for
Is
it.
that a good word? Yeah. Thank you. I thought that was good. There's a Chinese proverb it says, like, may you live, I think I'm paraphrasing, but may you live an interesting life, something like that.
May
And
you, it's a curse.
yes.
It's a curse. May you live in interesting times. And
Yes,
I think we are.
There you go. There you go. Thank you, Audrey. Yeah, I always thought, ooh, that is, yeah.
Let's shake up. Let's stand up. Let's woman up. Let's do it right now. Rise up for ERA. Take 3. Let's speak up. Do it right now. Rise up for ERA. Let's speak up. Let's step up. Let's refuse to shut up until the ERA is no longer held up. Let's ramp up and
For all of you out there, you're probably sitting there and thinking, okay, how is Pluto going to affect me? And that's a very good question. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. For you cardinal signs out there, which are Aries, Libra, Cancer, and Capricorn, you're going to be the most affected. Your sign is being asked to evolve triangular situations and emotional hang-ups that keep you from having a successful interpersonal relationship. So if you're not open to change, this transit's going to be difficult. And Pluto retrograde transit, it lasts about 5 months. So you're going to have a rough 5 months.
So the change doesn't necessarily mean a breakup, just a different way of being in the relationship.
Yes, a different way of being. Like that spackling I was talking about, are you spackling over, the same issue? Do you keep fighting over the same issue? So you want to fix that. And it doesn't mean that you have to leave your spouse or your partner or whatever, but it means you have to fix that one thing that would make your partnership even better. Now, the mutable signs, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, you'll be affected by the Pluto retrograde, not as intensely as the cardinal signs. The work that will probably involve you is letting go of the past. It can prove more challenging than it sounds. Oh yeah, I'll just let that go. But really let it go. However you need to let it go. Burn that in the ash pot. Let it go. And then finally, the fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, you'll be affected not as intensely as all the other signs. You're going to be feeling, though, the need to work on your innermost sentiments and stand up for yourselves in a calm manner. Now, I do say for Taurus, considering that the new moon is in your sign, you will feel an intensity to start something new. So if you've been thinking about a project or, a situation, you'll feel more of the urge to get it off the ground. So this is a good energy if I use this energy if I've been procrastinating. I'm guilty of that. I'll use a new moon energy. And Taurus is perfect because it's an art sign, it's working, it's all that. So Taurus will poke you. And this new moon will poke you and say, okay, let's go. Time's a-wasting, So all you Taurus out there. And I should mention, too, when I talk about the moons and the different signs, not only your sun sign, but what we call your rising sign can be affected. So if you don't know your rising sign, call me and I can tell you. But also too, so I tell everybody if you're gonna read the horoscopes in the newspaper or the magazines, at least read your sun and rising sign so you can get a more complete picture. And not that they're inaccurate, but they do it for the horoscopes. They are for the general, publication. So they're not specific, and they're not always accurate. But if you read both, you get a little bit better picture. Now, one of the things I wanted to do today as we close is I'm obsessed with these affirmation cards, or it's called The Art of Energy, and it's a healing deck. And it is by a local voodoo priestess, Sky Bradshaw. She is the only person I go to for my tarot readings and Reiki, things like that. She's amazing.
I'll second that.
Yeah, Archie, we know her. We've known her for years. This deck is amazing, and she developed it along with the artist, another local artist, Amy Gordon. And you could go on Sky's webpage, Tarot by Sky, SKY.com. You can see all her offerings, and you can see about this terrific deck. I use it a lot. And it's based on your 7 chakras. There's all sorts of ways to use this deck. I kind of use it as a daily affirmation, or if I'm struggling with something, I'll pull a card and get some insight. So what we are going to be talking about today, because I did a random poll, so we all need this, is the energy of intuition in the throat chakra. Now, the throat chakra is at the base of your throat. Color is blue, not the indigo, it's just blue. If you're feeling out of balance, if maybe you're getting misunderstood or you're, misspeaking or whatever, wearing blue clothing is good, especially if you're going to give a speech or if you have to do a lecture or whatever. You want to wear blue, eating blue food, blueberries, are a way to do it internally. Wearing sodalite, lapis lazuli. Oh, and for all my ladies out there, I have a trick. If you want to wear gemstones, if you're into wearing gemstones for particular reasons, but you may have to camouflage the reason if you work in a conservative company or if your family is super conservative and they don't like you being into that woo-woo, witchy stuff. Use jewelry. On Etsy, you can get these different gemstone bands, and they're like less than $20. I have a hematite one on today because I had a little negative energy going on, but there's jade and amethyst and rose quartz, all of that. Or you could just buy a really pretty pendant, right? So you could wear it or whatever, and no one will be the wiser.
And all the time you'll be getting that good throat chakra energy.
Exactly. So the card that I pulled is, like I said, the energy of intuition in the throat chakra. So here is the awareness. Verbalizing our intuitions can feel like a badge or shield. Bring awareness to the energy of intuition in your heart and see if you can use it as a defense or embrace it as part of you. Can you relax into it so intuition is yours and yours alone? So here is the energy action. Listen to your energies each morning and add these to your energy journal, or any journal that you have. If you keep a journal, write this every morning. See how they differ from your action energies of the day. Watch to see if just bringing them into trust awareness can change how they manifest in the body. You do not have to share your intuition for it to be valid. And sometimes there's wisdom in keeping silent. Sometimes there's times to speak, and sometimes there's not times to speak. And we have to kind of figure that out for ourselves and know when the appropriate time is. But there you go. And like I said, this deck can be yours by going on Sky's website. If you have any questions, contact me. She's very gifted, very gifted. And she promised me that she would be on the podcast one day. So we're trying to arrange that now. And you guys are not going to want to miss that because she's amazing. So that's it for this week's episode. But before I go, I wanted to mention that I will be participating in the Soul Shift Wellness Market. And that'll be on Saturday, May 14th, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. It will be held at the Winston Junction Market, and that's downtown on Trade Street, 901 North Trade Street.
And that's Winston-Salem.
Yes, that is Winston-Salem. Yeah.
Far afield from here.
Yeah, that is Winston-Salem, downtown Winston-Salem. And you could find more information on my website under events. And eventually I will also have it on Essential Zodiac's Facebook page. But I hope to see you there. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. And you might learn something, and it's very cool. Thank you.
Be sure to join us in 2 weeks for another episode of the Essential Zodiac podcast. On May 13th, we'll explore the full moon and lunar eclipse in Scorpio. Become a patron of Essential Zodiac, and you'll be rewarded with access to a private Facebook forum. The Patreon levels include a number of great rewards, like a free Astro Tarot reading each month, a personalized monthly astrology forecast, even a shout-out at the end of each episode. Learn more at EssentialZodiac.com. We hope you'll like, comment, and follow the Essential Zodiac on your favorite podcast channels. And be sure to share our podcast with your friends. The Essential Zodiac podcast is produced at Muddy Creek Studios.